Alexandra Essoe, you are amazing. Welcome everybody, Smurf from 5280 Geek in the Colorado Festival of Horror. My first interview for the day is with the beautiful, stunning, and super talented, oh my God.
Thank you.
Your role in Dr. Sleep. And I mean, and I'm sure you've heard this, but, or have been asked this, that is like a classic story to expand on, and the cast that was assembled.
Oh my God.
Was, I mean, I get intimidated just looking at the poster. I mean, what is it like just walking onto set?
Oh, it was like Candyland. It was amazing because they rebuilt the whole inside of the Overlook Hotel. So for me, who already loves The Shining, it's
Right.
one of my favorite Kubrick movies, let alone horror movies.
Right.
I really was in Wonderland. You know, I got to go into room 237, and I got to throw a tennis ball against the side of the Colorado Lounge, and I had a whiskey in the Gold Room. You know, it was like kind of ideal. Everyone I was working with, the cast and the crew, were so chill. We were like one big cool family. On my off days, I would actually go to set and hang out and shadow Mike and kind of.
I mean, and Ewan McGregor. I mean, huge fan already.
Oh, he's a darling.
I mean, like Big Fish.
Yeah.
And of course, he becomes Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Trainspotting is one of my favorite.
And Trainspotting, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that must. I mean, what'd you order for a bourbon or a whiskey? What was your drink?
Oh, it was more what they had.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause they were on set. All they had was Jack Daniels, but that's fine because that's what they have in the movie. So it was very apropos.
It fits for Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Jack Nicholson ever come by or anything like that?
No. I mean, I believe his health has been kind of bad, so I don't think he would have been able to make the trip, unfortunately. But that would have been insanely amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Would have made my life.
Because you always hear like these behind the scene things of like, oh, so and so is just stopped by. So I was always wondering about. You never know about like Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, he especially will just kind of show up in places, but
him and Bill Murray for some strange reason. I've never figured that out.
Bill Murray strikes me as an absurdist. I think that's something that he embraces in his life.
You know, that's very true. So why horror? I mean, you say you're a horror fan. So what did you grow up watching, or what got you into horror so much?
Well, it's funny. I have always been a horror fan, and there's lots of movies that I've grown up watching, like Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite movies, and The Innocents, and a lot of modern horror I love. But with acting, when you first start breaking in, you just take whatever job you can get.
Beggars can't be picky. Like,
and you really are a beggar. I mean, unless you're related to somebody.
I'm crew guy number 5, literally. I take it.
I had a bunch of those roles. Grocery clerk, model number 1. Stand-in number 3. Like, stuff like that. So horror was my breakout genre. That was what. So that's kind of what set me on that path. And it's a great path to be on. I mean, especially artistically, there's no real limitations. It's
very flexible, right?
Very flexible. There's so much variety to it. There's almost every other genre can fit into horror.
I mean, you got sci-fi, comedy, I mean, even like The Bugs.
Yeah, drama. I mean, everything is at home in that genre, and it's not necessarily the other way around.
No, because you got like, gatekeeping nerds and all that, actually Star Wars, this is what happened.
I mean, I don't know if I would want a horror Star Wars, but,
could you imagine?
Cool directed it.
Right, like Jawas would be like the scariest things in the galaxy. You don't know what's under the hood.
Yeah, like I'm fine with pure sci-fi, but yeah, as an actor, it's the most challenging, I would say.
So can you talk about what you're currently working on?
I don't know. I did just film a movie up in Vancouver, but
that's like the hot spot for everybody, isn't it?
It is. It's like Hollywood North, basically. Like they've been filming stuff up there for the past 7 decades or something like that. Something crazy like that. But yeah, no, it's a cool little like survivalist horror thing in the woods. Randy Couture is in it.
Nice.
It is nice. He's the best.
He is.
Super cool dude. Like total gentle giant, really sweet man of integrity. You know what I mean? Total gentleman.
That's encouraging.
It is. Yeah. I was like, I mean, not that I wasn't expecting
well, of
that,
course.
But it's, it was really nice to work with.
Right.
So.
Who would you like to work with the most? I mean, what are you looking at? Like, Come on, Mr. Agent person, do your job. Talk to this person.
Yeah, I would I would really love to work with someone like Panos Cosmatos.
Ooh.
I loved Mandy. I loved Beyond the Black Rainbow. I think he's just so interesting and original. I love the way his mind works. So if you're watching, keep me in mind.
Give her a call.
Alex, yeah. But him, Robert Eggers, Chloe Okuno, who is a newer director, but very, very interesting visual style, very interesting storyteller. I would love to work with her. Yeah, there's a lot. There's so
Just
much.
as book listed.
There really is.
Well, we just saw The Substance, and that movie was just
Oh, how was that?
trippy as hell.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
it was, and
I
it
do
just,
want to see that.
it just kept going. The final scene just kept going, and you're like, no, it can't get any worse. No, it did get, and then it kept going worse.
Oh, no.
So when you're doing your scenes, are you like, when you're in the moment, do you think like, oh, how can I like dial this up, or when you're walking through it, or do you get that kind of freedom or opportunity?
Well, my approach is more kind of being in reaction to my circumstances.
Okay.
So I try not to plan what I'm gonna do beforehand because, I want it to be spontaneous and like I'm doing it for the first time.
Okay.
So, for me it's more about, really believing what it is that I'm dealing with, what I'm reacting to, exactly what I'm doing essentially. And if it is something really extraordinary, then it requires an extraordinary reaction, whatever that is. But I do like to surprise myself.
Right. What was the most, I mean, when you're doing your scenes, what was the most like challenging to you when you're getting into these roles?
It is very much that, like getting myself to a place where,
So, take two. No, see, this is what happens when you're doing your con, because everyone gets into it. So,
yeah, of course.
And there's interruptions. And do you get directors that are like, while you're like in the zone, they're like, no, stop, do it differently?
Honestly, no. Sometimes I do wish that, because I find like there are a lot of really wonderful directors, but it's rare to work with a director that has a very intimate understanding of what my job is.
Right.
And what acting, because it's not as necessary as it used to be. Like a lot of these older directors normally would come from a theater background where you have to know, because that's all you're directing. You're directing actors, so you have to kind of understand what their process is, no matter what that is.
Whatever it may be.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say Mike Flanagan gives fantastic acting notes. He has a really wonderful grasp. Yeah, he does. And he is very specific, which is so important. He always knows exactly what it is that he wants, which makes me feel more secure as an actor. That like I can trust someone to guide me.
This is what I want, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's very important to have that kind of a relationship.
And I don't think there's a film. As soon as I like Mac Flanagan, I'm like in. I'm just
I know.
So
does not
on
miss.
it.
I know, it's crazy.
The man just is a genius. I don't know where this comes from or all of that.
A deep love for what he does.
A deep love of horror.
Deep obsession. Well, funnily enough, his favorite film is All That Jazz by Bob Fosse.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to fit.
I know, but it is a brilliant film, and it's one of the most brilliant aspects of it is the editing, and Mike, of course, started as an editor.
As an editor, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's a film nerd as well. So
nice. Yeah. All right. So what was your first horror film that hooked you?
Probably A Dark Crystal.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not explicitly horror, but it has.
But it's some dark.
It's very dark.
For a child and for Jim Henson. I mean, it's a little.
But yeah, I think at the time. I mean, I saw it on a VHS in the '90s, but I imagine when it came out, it was for
in the theater. Yeah, it was intense.
I feel like kids back then were made of stronger stuff. Like
I mean, they had like 40-pound television sets on a TV tray. So yeah, you tell me.
Exactly. Yeah, seriously. So they could handle the dark stuff, I guess.
They could handle the dark stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So you start with Dark Crystal, and then you ratchet up to Master of Puppets. I see.
Yeah, well, I was a big fan of dolls as well. That's still my favorite Stuart Gordon movie.
You can just go.
It's still my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I love Stuart Gordon, but that has a special place in my heart.
The one place I've always wanted to go is Island of the Dolls, and it's this haunted island that's in like New Mexico or Mexico City, and this girl dies in the river. And as a tribute, the grandfather something attaches a doll to a tree. And now over the decades, it's been infested with all these dolls, and it's haunted as hell. So if you haven't watched it, research Island of the Dolls.
Island of the Dolls.
And it's real, and there's some creepy footage. Because they'll set up like the trap cams.
Yeah.
And you'll see the dolls.
So some nice bedtime content. Nice, thank you.
Are you the one that likes dolls?
It's true. Yes, it's true. I do like dolls.
Do you ever take your work home with you? Like, okay, that was a little bit too creepy even for me.
No, not really. I mean, once you kind of see behind the curtain.
I mean, that is true.
It's not. Now, who knows? Maybe there will be something that comes along that'll like just really get in my head. But so far I've been lucky.
Because I mean, Starry Eyes was that was a very intense film.
It's a very intense film. Well, and for me, the scariest part of Starry Eyes is the sort of blind ambition of it all.
Right.
More so than the supernatural or body horror elements, it's that, it's how corruptible people are,
Susceptible to greed and all of that stuff.
Oh my God. Well, especially if like you get into this industry not really knowing who you are, the industry will decide for you.
Oh yeah, it'll
just like consume you. And we see it happen all the time.
Every day.
Yeah, people get what they want and then they lose their goddamn minds. And,
Like they absolutely nuts. So how long did it take you guys to do Starry Eyes? Because I mean, the scenes and everything, and that seems like it would be like days on set.
You would think so. I would have loved that. No, we shot it in 18 days, 6-day weeks.
What?
I was pre-called a lot just for some of the makeup and stuff that I had to do, but no, I don't think I ever got more than 3 takes of anything. Sometimes I would only get 1 take.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, good or not, this is
what it's going to be, yeah. So
what
you need to not fuck
See, I told you you're impressive. I mean, you do that in 1 take? Oh my God.
I mean, it is a trial by fire, that's for sure. It's good training.
Just a little bit. But I completely understand. So, I mean, in those moments, what character have you felt the most, like, sympathetic towards or felt the biggest connection with? I don't think you're very corruptible, but, hey.
I try not to be.
I mean,
I do the corrupting, that's why.
That's it, yes.
I
behind
corrupt.
the scenes.
Exactly. No, gosh, that I relate to the most. I suppose maybe Mildred.
Okay.
Actually, I mean, on a philosophical level, I relate to her the most.
Okay.
I'm a naturally skeptical and incredulous person.
I'm a skeptic. I want to be proven, though. I want to see it. I want to touch it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I feel that, Mildred is kind of like that. Like, even her faith is more of a philosophical thing than a literal thing.
Right. Opportunity.
Yeah, like, I think that's why she's kind of able to see through what's going on at her church and why it, like, just doesn't smell right to her. And I really respect that about her.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So, are you excited about this weekend?
Yes, I am.
How many horror cons have you done so far?
Oh my gosh.
A lot, huh?
A lot.
You got to stop and like,
I'm probably like maybe 20.
Okay. Well, it's not that many.
It's not crap. I mean, I didn't, over the pandemic, I wasn't doing any, of course, and yeah.
What's your favorite city so far? Better be Denver.
Obviously Denver.
Obviously Denver.
Obviously Denver. I mean, I didn't have to think about that.
Like, obviously Denver. Are you going to go up? I mean, since The Shining is here, the hotel, are you going to go up to the Stanley?
I'm going to try. I don't have to leave till Monday, so I might, but I don't have a car or anything like that. So it'll be touch and go. We'll see. We'll see if I have time. Oh, road trip.
You cannot come out here and not go and actually have an actual bourbon in the restaurant.
I know, I really should. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing this weekend. It'll be a little bonus for me.
A little bonus at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Did you do a lot of like research for The Shining, or what's the best scene for you in The Shining?
I mean, even before Doctor Sleep, I had seen it like 10 times.
Wow.
I had seen it into the double digits.
Okay.
Because it was one of my favorite movies just already. I mean, as an actor, one of my favorite scenes is in the beginning when Shelley Duvall is in her apartment smoking and making excuses for her husband. It's such a brilliant performance, you know. She's so good at masking all of this stuff.
Turmoil and everything, yes.
It's such a great way to set up her character, how like fragile and kind of desperate she is to keep her family together, and it just kind of makes, you know, her confrontation with the supernatural all the more impactful. You see, you know, just how much she's kind of hanging on by a thread. I love that scene.
Fingernails.
Yeah.
I was trying to get adult-sized big wheels for us because I wanted to race you.
Oh.
But I couldn't. No one's got adult-sized big wheels. I was so disappointed.
Sure.
I know you're laughing over there, but come on, that would have been great out in that parking lot.
Oh, man.
Little big wheel tournament.
I definitely would have wanted to do that and videotape it, of course.
Well, next time when you're back,
Okay.
we would have to do
That's a deal.
big wheel race.
Okay.
Done.
All right.
All right, so you're here for the duration of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What's home? Is it LA or?
It is LA. Yeah. You know, it's a necessary evil.
It is,
Yeah.
but we're close.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a very short flight from there.
Cool. So when I lock down the big wheels, I will call you.
Okay, good.
I'll have you come out.
I love it.
How do people follow you, stalk you on the interwebs and Instagrams and the Facebooks and all of that?
So I do have a Facebook, but only so that I can keep my Instagram. I am never on Facebook generally.
You just do it to keep up with old flames. Like, what's this
exactly.
thing? I mean, you're kind of, I never liked you anyway.
Exactly. You got me. Yeah, no, I'm on Instagram at Alex Essoe. That's the only social media I really use. So.
I think that's all that anyone's using because I don't understand TikTok and you know, all the rest of it.
Too much work. You gotta make content like every day.
Every day.
Instagram is just here's a picture and a caption, and we'll just
and a
leave it at
hashtag
that.
and
maybe a hashtag if I'm feeling up for it.
wow.
I actually just forget to do a hashtag. I'm really bad at social media. That's another reason why I'm not on there very much.
I have people that do it for me, so I'm just like,
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I really should do that.
pay them in like, I don't know, cookies or something like that.
I do make pretty good cookies.
See?
I have to say.
There you go. Well, and I will let you get to your table. We have a few minutes before doors, so you can go do a lap. Thank you, Alexandra. Alexandra.
Alex is fine.
Okay. Well, I never want to insult anyone.
Oh, not at all. I'm not easily insulted.
Excellent. Alexandra, thank you. Guys, we'll be up with more stuff for Kofo. In the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night!